I want to show you a video of Charlie talking about TPUSA.
Okay.
Well, you're about to embark on something that is much bigger than yourself. So check your ego at the door.
Oh, he looks so good. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second. It's the longest video I've watched of him. Just give me a second.
Charlie was on a mission to save Western civilization. Mm-hmm. Did you know that's what you signed up for?
You know, well, no, I didn't sign up for anything. I just married the love of my life.
Hard to watch. Erica Kirk speaking out on the assassination of her husband, Charlie Kirk. Here's what she exclusively told Jesse Watters on why she refuses to live in fear.
Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
You know, Harris, she has so much wisdom. Every time she answers a question, she turns it back to faith. It's so clear, her compass and what guides her, much the same as her husband's, Charlie's.
Yeah, you know, these are different times than the late 50s. But there were people then. MLK Jr. is one that I'm thinking of as probably the most who did this, who truly believed that it was spirituality at the center of everything. And that's where the hope and the progress could come from. And I see her as unbending in this moment because something else holds her up. It's not the fans, it's not the people, it's none of that. It is the Lord. He's got her. And it is amazing to be reminded of the power of that and the grace that it inspires within a human being. It keeps us all going. It is spiritual food. Every time I hear her speak, I pray for her that she continues to have the strength to do it.
And in another moment of complete wisdom and trust in faith in God, here's Erica Kirk talking about what she tells her two small children, including her 3-year-old, about where Daddy is.
You told your children that Charlie was going on a work trip with Jesus. Are they still asking, where's Daddy?
Yes, my daughter continues to ask, but it's really sweet because I keep explaining to her a few things. And I said, if ever you want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him. He can hear you. He's always in your heart. And I told her, I said, you know, Daddy is in heaven. She goes, you think I could go sometime? I said, baby, we will all go one day. We will all go one day.
Yeah, I mean, Kaylee, that's so hard. You know, I have a 6-year-old who's asking questions about life and death, and I can't imagine a 3-year-old having to explain that concept to, and she just wants to go to heaven to see Daddy.
Yeah, as a new mom myself, it's really hard to even wrap my head around how she's navigating this situation and how she's navigating this situation knowing that her small children are going to grow up knowing about their father and how he was killed, and God forbid seeing the actual footage of it. It's so much to process. It's so much that she has to bear at this very young point in her life. But I think her kids also get to grow up seeing their mom step into their father's role and carry his mission and his legacy, and most importantly, his faith forward. And she's so strong to be able to do that. And so, you know, I commend her for being an amazing example for her children, but also for other young moms in the country like myself.
Yeah, and Emily, I want to play this because not only is she having to lead Turning Point USA, talk to her children about these big, heavy issues, but she's also having to watch a court case play out. And here's what she told Jesse on cameras in the courtroom.
The defense wants to ban cameras in the courtroom. How do you feel about that?
There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile, my every tear. We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
I echo the fact that every time she speaks, I'm so impressed by her wisdom and her gravitas and her ability to frame something that is so horrifying and feeling so complicated as simple and fundamental and clear to those of us. And it's evil versus good. And it also nails the legal arguments, which is the public interest in ensuring that there is a fair trial and ensuring that the historical record is indeed accurate. And may I say, too, that her original comments that we played in the beginning reminds me of, I think it was C.S. Lewis who said that worry is practicing atheism. And the reality is that she is carrying and embodies the peace that surpasses all understanding, where you know exactly where you are going. You are going home every day, whether it's home to your children or home to your Heavenly Father. And to see that and to serve as a witness, frankly, for her just preternatural grace and that peace is I'm honored and humbled by it. And I have no doubt that she will continue to be an incredible force for good in the name of her late husband and, most importantly, Jesus.
David, I think this interview is so important. I was reading some Politico polling this morning that showed a significant minority, as they note, 24% of the population thinks violence is sometimes justified. I think it's important people look at Erica Kirk and the families and friends affected by violence.
I mean, you've all provided such great aspects of this. There's a part where she says people have to see evil for what it is, and that's important. You talked about MLK Jr. earlier. Another strong woman, Rosa Parks, Mrs. Parks, centered. And when you think about the history of this country and strong women, whether it was suffragettes, a Rosa Parks, others that have stood up in positions and led, she's one of them. But she has something else. She has an organization that she and Charlie and Andrew and the entire team built that was meant to be there no matter what happened. Unfortunately, and tragically, an assassination, but it was meant to survive based on a simple truth, that we as a society need to have values, we need to have a center, we need to work together, we need to engage in conversation. That carries you much further, and she's able to work with that, to come home with that in her as a part of her.
Indeed.
Can I ask you something? What about this idea of cameras? I know you were talking about legally this does serve the purpose of the public to be able to see it up close. How do you feel about it?
Without question, I'm in total agreement with Emily. It's important for people to see evil. There's a spiritual battle playing out in this country, evil and good. And Charlie Kirk said it's playing out whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. So I believe, and of course it's an alleged assassin at this point, but the evidence is pretty clear. I've been through that. The DNA evidence, his parents turned him in, the text messages. I think it's important America sees that evidence, is crystal clear on what happened that day, and sees evil at a time when evil and good are playing out. And Charlie Kirk embodied all things good.
And the potential for consequences for anybody else in this assassination culture with when we're living would be able to see that.
Totally, yes. All right, well, we will follow it all. You can watch that full interview between Erica Kirk and Jesse on Jesse Watters Primetime this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Fox. And it's officially the Patriot Awards time. It's that week here in New York, and we're excited to finally announce a few special guests joining us this Thursday. Country music star Jason Aldean and his wife Brittany will join Jesse Watters in presenting Erica Kirk with the first ever Charlie Kirk Legacy Award. Jason Aldean will also perform live. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, there are still some left on foxnation.com/Patriot Awards. If you plan on tuning in from home, watch live this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on foxnation.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.